Hello chaps, and welcome to my build update number 1 for the Italeri 1/48 scale Panavia Tornado IDS. This is my build for the ClassicPlastic101 Tribute build being hosted by PapaDansModels2 and MindlessModelWorks. So on with the build. I wanted to get some of the plastic moving, get it off the sprue, so I started with some of the large sub-assemblies. I glued the main wheel bays into the bottom fuselage, followed by the front wheel bay into the starboard side fuselage, front fuselage. I then got the wheel parts and glued those all together, smoothed the seams down, and then I gave them that weighted appearance by filing some flats onto the bottom. I then moved on to the missiles, drop tanks and bombs. Glued those together, smoothed the seams down, and then it was on with the main wings. And you have to glue those, you have to hot weld the pylons in before you glue those together. So just heat up the end of a screwdriver and mushroom down the ends of the spoke coming up, and it allows them to swivel. I then moved on to the horizontal stabilizer parts, glued those together as well. And then after that it was on to the exhaust assemblies, the two upper and lower rear exhaust sections, and then the afterburner sections. I then wanted to dry fit the model, see how it went together. I taped it all together. It seemed to go together pretty well. Just a few steps, like the nose to fuselage joint. There's a bit of a step there that's going to need attending to. And then it was on with the build. So I got the cockpit parts together, the two seats, front instrument panel and the bulkheads, glued them in together. And then it was on to priming some of these parts with a black Stynylrez primer. Getting ready to paint now. And after painting those parts, fuselage parts, it was on with the cockpit tub, instrument panels, ejector seats, wheels and exhaust. I then put on the light ghost grey for the interior and then detailed everything. I didn't show the stages of detail, I just showed you the before and after. Couple of views, and the ejector seats needed some extra seat belts. They seem to have two sets of seat belts, so I cut some wine bottle foil strips, super glued them in place, and then put some metallic blue buckles. I then gave all that a gloss clear coat so I could give it a little bit of a weathering and dirt wash. So I mixed some black oil paint with some odorless mineral spirits and put a wash on those parts. Allowed that to dry for about 45 minutes, and then using some cotton buds, Q-tips, I rubbed the excess off, leaving a nice sort of used, dirty look. And then it was on to sealing that all in with the final flat clear coat. And then I put some clear glue into all the dials and screens to make it look like glass. And that's a picture of one of the real ejector seats, and this is my rendition of the ejector seats that's going into my model. That's a side view, a starboard side view of a real ejector seat, and here's a few more views of my ejector seats before I put them into the cockpit tub and seal them away within the fuselage assembly. That's the last view. That's inside, showing the instrument panel, front instrument panel of a Panavia Tornado. That's all the parts that are going to be assembled into that tub, and that's the rear instrument panel. And here's a view of my two instrument panels, front on the left, rear on the right, with a coin to give you an idea of scale. And there's the ejector seats next to a coin for scale, and the cockpit tub. A few more views of the cockpit tub because I'm about to glue this all together. Different angles, make sure we capture everything that's in there, just for prosperity, so I know it's been done, as we all do. Some of this stuff we can't see, but we still do it. So there we go, we've assembled it all together, instrument panels and ejector seats in place. Another view of a real Tornado front instrument panel and consoles. And there's a view of mine with the coin next to it for scale. Top view there. And these are the final last few views before it goes into the two fuselage halves. I think it turned out pretty nice. I liked it. I enjoyed doing it. I had a lot of fun building it. So here we go. There it is, clamped into the starboard side fuselage half, the front side. And then this next view shows it all buttoned up in both fuselage halves. And then there I've got the nose cone. I've packed it with putter because it needs some nose weight. I also put putty underside the cockpit tub. So that's it, guys. Before we move on to build update number 2, which will be the rest of the assembler, some priming, pre-shading, and maybe painting. Until then, guys, Talio chocks away.